Hey everybody, welcome to the Hamilcast.
Hello, welcome back.
I am Gillian.
And Bianca.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm okay, how are you?
I'm good.
We're sitting closer to each other than we normally do.
We're just going to keep progressively getting closer to each other.
Well, I'm really excited. I feel like I'm going to say that every
time
episode, but I feel like, you know how late night people are always like, we have a great show for you today, and you wish they'd change it up a little bit, but I get it, because that's how I feel every single time.
I'm just always like, really, Jimmy Fallon, are you that excited every single night?
Really, Colbert, you have the greatest show, but I get how they're feeling, because
we have a great show.
We have a great show for you tonight, everybody. We have, you know her from Hamilton Squad, the Hamilton Squad memes and Twitter and Instagram. Hollis. Hi, Hollis.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
I mean, hi. I feel like nervous that you're here.
Oh, God. Please don't. I'm not that cool.
How are you? Thank you so much for agreeing to be on our little podcast.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm sorry I was kind of hard to get a hold of. I'm terrible about responding to people about things.
No, you're incredibly cool and awesome. So I completely I apologize for following up as often as I did.
No, I'm glad you did. I'm really excited about this.
I like how honest this podcast is, just right from the get-go. There's no bullshit here on the Hamilcast. So Hollis, you're in LA, right?
I am. Yeah, I'm in Los Angeles. I have a beer here. Is it okay if I drink that?
Yes, of course. We normally drink beer, but we'll cheers to you. We have some tropical drinks today because it is hot as heck in New York City for March. Not okay.
What's it like there right now?
It was 75 degrees today.
And super muggy. It feels
super
like
muggy.
The Caribbean.
It's incredibly stressful, so we're having some Caribbean-inspired drinks.
Yeah, some Jamaican rum. But I said, I was like, yeah, maybe we should have done the rum when we were reading Chernow's earlier chapters, but Bianca made a good point, because it feels like a hurricane is about to hit. It is muggy and sweaty. I had my air conditioner on.
It's really confusing.
That's hotter there than it is here right now, I think.
Yeah, well, we did that because I need to shut all the windows when we do the podcast, because I'm super classy when we do the podcast in my living room.
And New York is very loud.
New York's very loud, so yeah. But anyway, can we just get right into it, Hollis?
Yeah, let's do it. Sorry, I had something made noise over here.
Is it Lynn?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Let's do it.
Is Lynn texting you? Is it Lynn?
No, he's not texting.
He texted you yesterday?
What's that? No, I won't say who. I only have one cast member's phone number.
Okay.
That's enough.
Yeah. I won't blow up their spot.
No, don't.
Don't.
We're not about that. We're not about that life.
Yeah,
no, it's cool. And this person is super nice, and we text every once in a while.
So it could be anybody, because they're all amazing.
They're awesome. But yeah, no, we can get right into it. Let's do it.
Okay, so how did you find out about the show? I guess I don't think LA is a different planet. I'm just saying, because for New York based, the show Ham is so New York, Broadway, the Public Theater. How did it get your attention all the way across the country?
So I was a musical theater creative writing major. So I've always kind of had my finger on the pulse of Broadway and things like that. And so I was familiar with In the Heights, obviously, because I think everyone kind of was. Mm-hmm. And we even had my brother used to live in New York, and my mom and little sister went there, and they saw In the Heights, and so we had In the Heights cups in our cabinets for a really long time. But anyways, so I've always been a really big fan of Lin. And then he did the White House dinner where he raps, Alexander Hamilton. And so saw that, had a friend show it to me, and I was like, oh shit, this is for real. And so I basically just waited with bated breath for anything I could get here in LA. Obviously I knew I couldn't see it in the public, but I wasn't in New York at the time. And so I just kind of waited and waited and waited. And I am terrible. It might seem like I'm good at it. I'm terrible at interneting. So finding bootlegs or things before they were released. I'm so bad at it that I don't pirating or whatever. I won't do it. I'm I don't even know how to. I'd be the person who'd get arrested. They'd come to my house and be like, hope that bootleg version of Satisfied.
And you'd be like, yes, it totally was.
But that was what I was saying last week when we talked about bootlegs briefly, about all the nonsense that's going on. And I'm I honestly wouldn't even know how to do this.
Don't even know where to begin.
No idea. No clue.
Don't even know where to begin.
Safe with me, because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I know the names of sites, but sometimes they make me nervous because I don't know. Do they know my IP address?
I don't know.
Who knows
sounds
what? Like, I know some things, but I know some information. I could probably get there, but then when it comes to doing it, I'd probably, like, my computer would explode or something.
Exactly.
I'm too paranoid to deal with that.
I was on Tumblr, and they were, some Tumblr user was releasing, like, all these recordings from the public.
Whoa.
And I was like real, like, moral dilemma.
Totally.
Because I was like, shit, I know Lynn is, like, so against this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, And I was like, but I've never heard congratulations. So I listened to congratulations, like, once or twice. And I was like, well, here's the thing. Maybe I won't reblog it. I was like, I won't continue the spread of it. But anyways, so I just kind of had to wait for, like, anything that was, like, legally released for me. And so, you know, they did, like, the clips, and then they did, and then I knew when the soundtrack was coming out, and I was, like, so freaking jazzed. And then NPR released it. Remember when NPR dropped it?
Right.
The day early, and I woke up that morning, and my friend had posted on my wall and texted me, and I think I woke up and, like, genuinely screamed. Like, I woke up and I was like, oh my god! And I, like, immediately that's all I did. I just, like, pressed play and just, like, and I was, like, I had to, like, figure out how to, like, plug it into my car, and, like, it was great. And so, so did that, and then the soundtrack was released, and so then once that happened, you know, kind of, like, all bets were off. And then, do you want me to, like, tell the whole story? I feel bad. I feel like
No. But I mean, so obviously you were invested before it even happened. So because you're involved in musical theater,
I
you know what's up.
I've really just respected Lynn and everything he stood for. Like, as you guys can see, but the viewers maybe can't or don't know, I'm a little person, and I'm trying to be an actress here in LA. So, like, Lynn, with his whole, like, diversity and how passionate he is about diversity, like, that really speaks to me. I just really respect him.
Of course,
yeah. And so I've been, like, waiting and knowing about this for a while. So
I don't mean to interrupt you, but that blog that you wrote was super, super moving about what the show meant to you and how you related to it. It was awesome. So amazing.
Thank you for reading it.
Of course. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of yours. What are you talking about? I read everything.
I say that, like, I don't think many people read it. Like, knowing in my mind, I'm like, Landry blogged it, David blogged it. Like, I'm so full of shit. But anyways. So they had all the promo images out, and I was, like, looking at them one day, and I was like, God, it would be really funny if I posted, there's one of all four of the guys, so it's Lynn, Oak, David, and Anthony as Lafayette, Mulligan, Hamilton, and Lawrence. And, like, they look like they're, like, dancing and having a good time. And I was like, God, this would be really funny to, like, be like, oh, when you roast a friend in group chat and your other friends dress up like patriots to celebrate.
Because that happens all the time.
Yeah, right. Obviously, everyone can relate. And so I posted that on Instagram. Then I tagged my friends. And I was like, this one's so-and-so, this one's so-and-so, this one's so-and-so. Like, I was obviously Hamilton. And then, and I was like, God, this is, like, I was like, I think this is funny. I'm going to see if it can, like, has legs anywhere else. So I posted it to Tumblr. And then, after I posted it to Tumblr, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do all the promotional images. Like, that would just be really funny. So I did a bunch of them with all of the promotional images. And the one of, it's Renee looking at Leslie. It's during, like, Skylar Sisters, and, like, Jasmine and Pippa are in the back. And I wrote, like, when your girl is talking to a fuckboy at a bar and you are so done. So I posted that to Tumblr, and that got, like, within, like, 24 hours, I got, like, 700 notes. Whoa. And I was like, the frick just happened? I don't know how much I'm allowed to swear. But I was like, what? Okay. And so I was like, I'm going to post these to Twitter, but I'm not going to do them in my own account. So I was like, I'll start a new Twitter account, I guess. So I just, like, did it. And then I went initially, and I posted, like, 2 or 3 initially. And I went to Lynn's profile, found the people that were tweeting him a lot. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd look at his replies, and I'd find these, like, kind of, like, super fans, and were asking questions, and I followed them. And then they would look, and of course Hamilton squats in the title, so they're like, who's this? So they would look and look at me, and then a lot of them followed me back, and then retweets, and, like, kind of one thing led to another, and then it just kind of...
It's a whole snowball effect.
It is.
But crazy. Yeah. It's taken a while, though. I mean, I started late September, so it's taken, like, a few months, but
But I love that it started as something that was just fun for you and a few friends, and then it now became, and it ended up with you backstage at the show. Is that twice?
Yeah.
What? Twice. So let me just ask you how that, there was a lottery involved? You won the lottery?
No. Okay, so the first time I saw the show, I was in New York. I had been cast in this off-Broadway show called The Lilliput Troupe. And so I was going to go and live in New York for like 6 weeks. And this is like, I think at the time Hamilton Squad was up to like 3,000. And it was enough that like they knew, the cast knew who I was. Like I think by that time like Oak was following, Anthony was following, David was following. Like they had taken notice already. And so I was like, well, I have to see this show. I was like, I'm going to, I live in LA, but I'll be in New York for 6 weeks. Like, no, I'm seeing it.
Right. Oh my God.
So, 2 weeks after I got there, Lin had been sick. I don't know if you guys remember in the fall, Lin was sick for like a really long time. And it was like really bad. And so I was like, okay, well, I'm not buying a ticket until I know for sure that he'll be there. Because like, Javier, I haven't seen him. I'm sure he's wonderful, but I'm like, this might be the only chance I have to see him. I'm going to wait till Lin's on. And so, one day he was like, okay, I'm back. And I was like, great. But I had rehearsals like every night. And the only night we didn't have an evening rehearsal, and I'm sure I could have gotten out of it, but whatever. The only night we didn't have an evening rehearsal was Halloween. So I went on StubHub and paid. Only like 4 people know how much I paid.
You don't have to say it.
I will not say. I paid a stupid amount of money. Like enough that like I can't figure out a way to convey it to people, but a stupid amount. So because I was like, I have to guarantee that I'll see it. So I'm sorry, these stories are so long.
No, you're answering all of our questions. This is great. This is the easiest podcast I've ever done. We're sitting here with bated breath, like, oh, what's next? We're so excited.
So like 2 days before the show, again, I'm not going to say how. I connected with Oak. I won't say how. Like, I don't want to blow up a spot.
That's okay.
Connected with Oak, and I was like, hey, I'm coming to see the show on Saturday. Can't wait. That's all I said. I was just like, I'm not going to expect anything. Like, I just, whatever. And he, like, wrote me back. And he's like, oh, my God. He's like, we love you.
Oh,
excited.
So sweet.
And he was like, you have to come backstage. And I was like, oh.
Okay, Oak. Sure, I will take that invitation.
Yeah, what? And I was kind of like, I remember I was like, okay. How do I do that?
Sure, sounds good.
Because I was like, I don't want to just be like, sounds great, and then like I'm just sitting in the Richard Rodgers, like, okay.
Does someone come pick me up from the orchestra?
Yeah, I'm here to meet Oak. Yeah, everyone's here to meet Oak, lady.
Like, they want me backstage.
Move aside.
Bitch, no, go away. And so he was like, I'll put your name on the list. Like, let me know when you're here. I was like, okay.
Like it's a club? Like on the the list?
Yeah, like literally like on the list.
That's
and so what was really good about that though is so I watched the show. It's, you know, the greatest thing I've ever seen. I'm dying the entire time. But I am so nervous knowing that like after these 2 hours and 45 minutes, like I'm going to beat all of them. And so so it actually really helped because the first time I saw it, I cried, but I was able to like control myself so hard that no tears actually fell out of my eyes. Like it was just like a wet sheet had just like fallen over my eyes and it just stayed there because I was like, Hollis, if you mess up your makeup, I swear to God. And so I was like sitting there and just like very like an old like Southern woman, like just gently dabbing it.
I was gonna say you should teach lessons because that would really come in handy on how to cry without messing up your makeup. That's
yeah.
And
so I was like, and so then, and then like of course I had a couple friends texting me. They're like, don't get so nervous about going backstage that you don't enjoy the show. And I was like, no, of course not. And then he said, and then my friend said something really nice that actually was like really good and put it in perspective. And he goes, remember, someone could be there who is way more famous than you. And he's like, so when you go backstage, like, don't expect anything.
Right.
And I was like, that's a really good way to put it because, yeah, like, Obama has seen this.
Right.
And, like, Reese Witherspoon. And, like, you know, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, my dumbass is just being like, hi, I run a Twitter. and so, yeah. So, I, like, and luckily Oak texted me right when the show ended. And he was like, don't be shy. Like, come to the stage door. And
that is so sweet.
That is so badass and awesome and nice.
It's so nice. He's the nicest person. And so, well, they're all so nice. And so then went backstage, and he brought me on stage, and it sounds so braggy, and like I like share these stories for my like friends and family, but and so
we want to know.
Yeah,
I mean, don't hold back, please.
And so it was really cool. Is like Oak had clearly told them all like I was coming, and so they all like. They were all like, they'd all like look at Oak and then look at me and be like, is that her? And he was like, yeah. And they were like, oh my God. And so that's when I was able to meet, I met Anthony Jasmine. Anthony was like, I almost didn't meet Anthony. He and Jasmine were like leaving, but everyone, like while I was backstage, everyone who was meeting me, everyone's like, find Anthony. He's going to be so pissed if he doesn't meet her. Somebody find him. Like,
what?
They're like, seriously, he's so excited. And so like, I was like just standing on stage and I just hear this like thunderous running, and then like Anthony came out of the side wing and he was like, oh my God, he was like, I was so hyped, yo. I've gotten pretty good at my Anthony impression, but and so yeah, so I met Anthony and Jazz, and they were so nice, and then I met Leslie, who is like just like an angel. Like,
I was just gonna say angel. I was just gonna say, do you see his wings at first? Like, are they...
honestly, he is like the sweetest, kindest person. Matt Lynn, obviously, which was like, and I like tried to play it super cool because I was talking to Ephraim and Sasha, two of the ensemble members, who are so nice. I like love Ephraim and Sasha. I tell everybody I meet, I'm like, they like calmed my nerves down because it was like Halloween and I was like sitting there, so I was super nervous, and they're like, nah. And then I'm like, and they're like, you got big plans after this? I was like, no, honestly, probably I'll just go home and sleep. And they're like, me too. Ephraim's like, Netflix. And I was like, yes. So we just like talked about Netflix and like H&M. And then Lynn was like off to the side, and Ephraim goes, oh, have you met Lynn yet? And I tried to play it super cool, and I was like, nah.
Is he over there? I didn't even notice. Is he here? I didn't see him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, and they're like, do you want to meet him? I was like, he seems like, you know, he's talking to people, like, it's whatever. And then Ephraim goes, he wants to meet you. And I was like, well, then yes, go.
Then yes.
And so Ephraim introduced Lynn and I, and that was just like amazing. And I was able to like thank him for everything, and so that was super cool. And then the second time I saw the show, I just went to New York just for fun. I just booked a flight, and I have a ton of friends there, and I've long debated making the move from LA to New York, and so my first night there, I was like randomly with this girl I met through Twitter. We were grabbing dinner. And then her name's Connie. She listens. Hi, Connie.
Hey, Connie.
And then my friend Kathleen, who, she goes by Kat. I've known her since she was like in 8th grade. And so I keep calling her Kathleen, the Kat. So Kat, Kat's won the lottery a couple times. I won't say how many, but she's won a couple times.
She's won so many times that you don't want to say how many times she's won. That's how many times?
Like, I won't say. Because I don't want her to get like death threats.
What? I'm so curious, but I get it. I understand if she doesn't. That is.
It's a weird freak thing. Like, she just, like, I don't know. So, anyways, Kat was supposed to be working, and Connie and I were like, well, let's just go check out the lottery. Like, whatever, we'll just go see. And so then Kat texts me, and she's like, I just got out of work. I'm like, come to the Richard Rodgers. Like, we're doing the lottery. And she's like, okay, great. So she comes. We, like, fill out our slips or everything. Of course, like, Kat and I are freaking out because I'm just seeing her. I've only been in New York less than 24 hours. I got in at, like, 1 a.m. the night before. And so, like, we're just having fun talking. They're announcing the names. And then they go, okay, we have 4 standing room tickets and 1 seat left. So this next one, it'll be 2 seats. One will be in the front row and one will be standing room. You guys can switch to intermission. You can figure out how you want to do this. And then they go, and we have 2 more standing room seats. We're like, okay. So then he pulls out the sheet of paper, and Kathleen had written in, like, a bright purple pen, and he pulls out the sheet of paper, and I just see the bright purple, and she had, like, colored it in and, like, decorated it, and I turn around and I look at her, and she shakes her head, and I thought she was shaking her head to indicate, no, that's not mine, and I was like, oh, so I turn around, and then she goes, Hollis, and she shakes me, she goes, that's fine, and they go, Kathleen Weston, and I just, like, lose it. I just like scream.
Wait, what?
And so like I turn around to her and I was like, I'm so short. I was like, I probably won't be able to see standing room. And she's like, you won't. And I was like, can I have the seat? Granted, she has seen it many times.
Right.
And she was like, yes, of course. And I was like, I'll pay for, like, because when they do standing rooms are $40.
Right.
And the tickets are $10. So I was like, I'll pay the $50. It's fine.
Yeah, right, totally.
So, did she say what, because actually before we started recording, Bianca and I were talking about where the standing room seats are.
Are they behind the last row of the orchestra?
I think so. I couldn't even see where she was, but there's, like, if they are, there's, like, a bar or something, so, like, I couldn't see, and she was like, no, it's hard. She's like, there are things you don't see, and it's, like, a little bit difficult.
Yeah.
And so, yes, that's where that was. So then I got to go that time. And that was, like, super cool because, like, again, this sounds so braggy, but it was super fun for me because I didn't tell anybody that I had won, like, any of the cast.
Right.
And so, like, it was really fun for me to sit there in the front row and watch them all realize that I was there.
That is amazing.
Because Lynn comes out and Alexander Hamilton, he's singing, and I see him look at me, and then I'm like, does he realize? And so then he's, like, going around, and then at one part, I can't remember if it was after my shot. It must have been right after my shot. It's kind of like chaos, and the people are going off stage, and it's kind of crazy. And so he just, like, bends down, and he, like, points to me, and he just goes, squad! And then he goes back and, like, does his thing.
Are you serious?
That's amazing.
He is so interactive with the people that win the lottery. I wouldn't know because I haven't seen it, and I don't know anything about it, but that's fine. No, I'm just kidding. But what Twitter tells me, and what he's so nice about, like...
It's all of them are, because, I mean, I noticed that as well, because I won the lottery as well once, and I did notice that, like, a lot of times, like, I've sat in front rows before, and a lot of times they don't look down, because they're looking up and out, obviously, but I did notice a lot of people, like, scanning the front row and just, like, kind of taking, like, the temperature of everyone.
Hawkeyes the front row.
Oh, it's so fun.
And what's the protocol with, so I know when I win the lottery, how much can you rock out? We talked about this a little bit, but we didn't get into it.
I heard you guys talk about this, and I was, like, thinking about what I would say.
Yeah.
So, when I was there and we were doing it, there was a boy, and I now follow him on Twitter because he's so adorable. He was front row center, and I don't know his real name, but his name on Twitter is, like, the quiet best friend or something. And he literally looks like a mini David Diggs. Like, he has the hair, and he's just, like, so adorable. And you could tell during my shifts, he got so hype. He was, like, sitting there, and he was, like just bouncing along with it. And usually something like that would bug the shit out of me.
Right.
So my mom's an opera singer.
Whoa, that's cool.
I grew up, like, going to, like, I basically grew up in, like, musical theater and opera, and so, like, I remember one time we were watching Phantom of the Opera, and we were watching it, I think we were in New York, and I was young, I must have been, like, 5 years old, I was sitting on my mom's lap, watching it, and, she was singing Think of Me, and I think I turned around to my mom and said, when is the Phantom gonna come out, or something, and my mom, bless her heart, squeezed my hands so hard and goes, be quiet. And I was like, okay. And so, like, I was silent. Like, the rest of that performance, I was like, my mom's gonna kill me. So, like, I've always been of the mind, like, you sit, you are quiet.
Absolutely,
but then, like, seeing this kid do that, like, it was so, like, endearing. And you could tell he was just so hyped, and he loves David so much, and, like, that's a great song.
I feel like there's an age limit, though, because when Ashley told the story, when she sang along at Guys and Dolls for, like, 4 seconds, she was young. I feel like there's a stage limit. If they were like, who is this grown woman rapping along, or trying her best to rap along, I should say.
Like, bouncing is good, like, getting physically excited is great. Singing along, I would never, like, never, ever. I'm just wondering, like, how much movement. Yeah, people are, like, bouncing and, like, you can tell people are, like, grooving in their seats. And then I caught myself during Guns and Chips mouthing the word. No, it wasn't Guns and Chips. It was Right Hand Man. I caught myself mouthing the words. And then I saw Lynn look at me mouthing the words. And I was like, all right, sorry, bud. Sorry, my bad. I'll be quiet now.
When Leslie was on, I think it was Seth Meyers, they played a really long version of The Room Where It Happens. Which
I cannot find online anywhere.
Those 3-minute Broadway.com clips, I lived on them. They were like food for me. But when I was watching it, because my husband is very excited to see it. He's a history nerd and a hip hop junkie. but he's not listening to it because he really wants to experience it. So he watched like the 60 Minutes with me, and I showed him, I said, oh, I want to see Leslie on this. And 2 seconds into the clip, he goes, well, can you stop? I can't hear it. I didn't know I was singing.
Oh, no.
I had no idea. I was like, what? And he goes, you're singing all... I was like, oh, I had no idea. And then that's when I realized, have I been doing this all around New York City? Am I singing and not realizing it? There's no way. Maybe because I was home and I was on my own turf and I felt comfortable. I don't know.
Right. Well, I have the big problem where I'm just always, when I'm listening to it, I just start dancing. Like, I was dancing down supermarket aisles one day.
Of course.
And
how are you?
People were looking at me and I was like, sorry.
They don't get it. I did it.
Like, it's infectious, though. So I have, I have 3 quick stories. So.
Oh, my God. This is amazing.
The soundtrack, 4 days after the soundtrack dropped, I was blasting Satisfied in my car, because I will say on record right now that is my favorite song. So I was blasting it, and I'm driving, and I pull up to my friend's apartment, and I'm parking. My windows are down, so I roll them up. We get out of my car. This girl, probably my age, is coming around the other side of my car, and she stops, and she goes, was that Hamilton? And it's 4 days after the soundtrack dropped. And I go, yes. And she goes, I'm obsessed. And I was like, me too. And I was like, great. Okay. So that happened, and I was like, oh, it's spreading.
And this was in LA?
What's that?
That was in LA?
Yeah, that was in LA.
That's awesome.
Great.
So also in LA, my best friend in the world, her name's Mia. We've been best friends since we were in 3rd grade. Hi, Mia.
Hi, Mia. Hi, Mia.
She was driving down the street one day blasting Hamilton, and she stops at a stoplight, and her windows are down, and this middle-aged man, who you would not suspect, leans out of his window and goes, yeah, Hamilton, blast it! And
what?
That's so cute.
And he brings out his phone case, and he has a phone case that says Hamilton down the side of it. I don't know what else it says, but it says it's a Hamilton phone case. And she goes, do you know Hamilton Squad? And he goes, duh, of course. That's my best friend. They went their separate
You're
ways.
super famous.
The world is so weird.
The world is so weird.
It's funny, the influence that this show has.
Totally.
But, so, circling back to you singing it out loud, my best friend, his name's Chris, and he is not a musical theater person. He tolerates it. He saw Les Mis. He listens to Les Mis for 2 weeks when it came out, and he tolates my love of things. But anything I love, I tend to get very passionate about. He calls it my youth and enthusiasm. And so we're I've been at his apartment. And I will not even catch myself just under my breath. I'll just be like, I'm taking this most by the rain to make a red coat for blood stains off my and I'm never going to step until I make a drum. And I'll be doing it. And then he'll go, hey. And I go, what? And he goes, you're singing again. And I go, yeah. And he goes, stop singing Hamilton. I go, you don't know that it was Hamilton. And he goes, Hollis. And he looks at me. And I was like, it maybe was Hamilton, yes. But I will try and stop. But yeah, I'm the same way. I don't even notice.
You're Hamiltoning again. Please stop.
You're Hamiltoning, yeah. Yeah. Do you want to stick around and get into some of the book with us? Is that cool?
Yeah, let's do it. I have it right here. I reread the chapter.
All right.
Thanks.
Already.
Thank you for that. You didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I didn't want you to think that you had homework for this.
I'm such a what's the word? Not because I wasn't an A-based student at all, but. No, I'm ready. I have underlined passages I'm ready for. I'm so ready for
what?
This.
Amazing.
All right.
No, I love it. I'm
obsessed. Well, thank you for doing this. I love that. So we're up to chapter 6 for everyone following along at home. It's called A Frenzy of Valor, and it's basically stay alive and the 10 duel commandments, essentially.
Yes.
There's a lot of Charles Lee. We get into all of Charles Lee, the Battle of Monmouth. Lee was court-martialed, and there's a lot of stuff about the love between Ham and Lawrence.
There it was. I'm so jazzed. I love that.
I love all that.
Okay.
All right, let's start with that.
So when I've seen it twice, I remember, I think it's in your first podcast, you guys talk about, and I'm I want to talk to them about this. So you guys talk about, I can't remember, but someone said, oh, they don't show that much of the love between, Lawrence and Hamilton on stage. I think they do. If you watch subtly and watch when you go in September, there's one moment where, and not to spoil, I'm not trying to be some spoilers. There are a couple moments where you'll see Lynn and Anthony touching when they don't really need to.
Okay.
Or long looks. I would say it's definitely subtext, but in my opinion, it's there.
Well, someone
I'm gonna have to pay more attention to that because the times because I saw it at the public theater and then I saw it the one time on Broadway, so I didn't have any of this previous knowledge, and I was just so excited to be there that I wasn't really looking for any like underlying thing.
If I didn't know about their relationship, I would just be like, oh, they're touchy-feely. But like after learning about it, I'm like, oh, they very, very, very subtly.
And I read on Twitter too. I feel like everyone's going to think like that's where I get all my information. I'm really not on Twitter that much, I swear. But I saw Lynn.
Please, I'm on it all the time.
Someone said. Well, I'm on the Hamilcast because everyone has been so nice and amazing with us. But Lynn said someone asked him if the Lauren's "I like you a lot" was a little nod to this relationship, and he said yes.
Yeah.
So at least
we're just gonna put it out there because I like you.
I like you a lot.
Maybe more than a friend.
He loved him. He said, okay. So in these letters, he said, "I love you." He Chernow says that he was basically acting like a jealous lover sometimes. Like Lauren's wouldn't write back enough.
Right.
And he'd say, like, where are you?
You guys read the book all the way through?
No, we're just doing chapter at a time.
We're, like, legit going chapter by chapter.
That's smart. Okay, so later in the book, you learn, it must be, like, the next 2 chapters or something. Because I think the next chapter is when he meets Eliza.
It is.
But, so, you learn that, like, Alex, like, almost, like, withheld the information from Lauren.
Yes. Yeah. We read the next chapter as well. So
yeah.
Far.
Yeah.
So, there's... like a lot of their, I love you and the jealous lover thing I thought was very interesting, that he was mad that Lawrence wasn't writing fast enough. And it's like, Ham, you are the fastest. Like, don't you know who you are, Ham? Like, people can't keep up with you at all, in general, at all. So give the love of your life some slack.
He gets on Eliza for that, too, at one point.
He does.
I don't remember if it's in the books or if I'm just a psycho who like looked up all the letters between them. But like he gets on her, he's like, excuse me, it has been 30 days since you've written.
Yeah.
But I think she was like mad at him. I can't remember why, but she like purposely wasn't writing him enough. And I'm like, girl got game.
Yeah, like, she's badass.
I respond to texts from boys I like within like 10 seconds. And so I have no chill. I'm like, damn, good for her. Like, Lawrence and Eliza playing the long game.
Totally. And I like, too, how Chernow said that, I don't know, I guess it was one of Ham's sons or someone that was taking all of his letters.
One of the biographies. He's like, do not publish all of this.
And they crossed stuff out and said, I must not publish the whole of this. So I don't even know what it was they crossed out, but it must have been pretty scandalous.
What would you call it? Because it's not like sexting.
Well, I think it's just sort of like, we talked about this earlier too, how I personally don't think it matters one way or the other, but I think it's so hard to go through what they went through and not have any affection for these people, that there are only a handful of people that can really understand how hard it is. And I mean, of course you would have this affection and love and desire to hear from this person that is so far away, and it takes so long to hear back from them to begin with. I mean, I get it.
Yeah, I'm of the camp. I'm convinced old Alex was bisexual, and we don't have to get like super into it, but only because also they like in this chapter, Chernow talks about how he did like all that research on like the Roman times and like things that happened, like all the sexual things that happened then, and I was like, I bet he was of the mindset, like I bet he was bisexual, and he was kind of the mindset, like it's frowned upon, but I'm still gonna I'm not gonna hide kind of how I feel, because I guess I could be different. I have trouble telling my friends that are just my friends how much I love them, and I have no way of being like, no way can I ever come up with, where is it? You should have not taken advantage of my sensibility to steal into my affections without my consent. Like that is beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, I cannot imagine. I tell my friends get home safe, and that's my way of saying I love you, rather than.
Yeah, and just, I say I have a friend, James, who says, I appreciate you, and I think that is such an all-encompassing thing to say to somebody and a friend. So sometimes he'll just, because he's incredibly good friends with my husband, Mike. They knew each other first. But he will just say, Mikey, I appreciate you. And that means so much. It means I love you, I respect you. That's beautiful. Yeah, I like that. So James is very into gratitude and things like that. Hi, James. You're awesome. I love you. I'm best friend named James, too. Hi, James. Hi, James. But yeah, I think it's partly that. And if he was bisexual, cool, whatever.
I think also, though, because there's always the dichotomy of the two different types of women that he was obviously very attracted to. So this chapter mentions the pay book that he kept, that he wrote several notes in, and it would kind of go back and forth between, like, financial systems and, like, the beginnings of what that was all going to become. And then his notes on what he read from Plutarch, which they describe these bizarre whipping of women rituals that were very sexual, and also women, for some strange reason, thought this was going to help their fertility and conception. I don't really know where that comes from.
Weird.
Being a woman, I don't think that works. I don't think it's how it works. But
nope. Not a doctor, but I'm going to go ahead and
not a doctor.
No.
But he was always, I think, very torn between these two different sides of his personality. So I think
his ego.
Yeah.
Indeed.
And Chernow said too, like, if you ever, for anyone reading this book, it's no surprise that he would not only be a scholar, a treasury secretary, but also the person in the first political sex scandal, because that was his whole journal. His daily journal was, how can we fix this country and make money, and also let's get busy.
Yeah. I think it was just, like, very, like, it's that, like, temperament. Like, he had that, like, fiery temperament of, like, shooting off and, like, being, no pun intended, of, like, being, like, you know, kind of wild and things like that. So I feel like that just, like, kind of forms right along with it, with the Alexander we've come to know and love.
Can we talk about the duel real quick?
Yeah.
The Lawrence, because I also love, before we get into it, the reason Ham didn't fight in the duel, in the show, he makes it seem like, I can't disrespect direct orders. I can't do that. But here's why, for those of you who didn't read it, he couldn't, because he picked too many fights with someone so affectionately called Bacon Face. That was his nickname.
Samuel Chase. Is that his name, right?
Yeah, Sam Chase.
I think I like Bacon Face better.
Poor Bacon Face.
Rhymes.
But yeah, he couldn't do it because he was just like, at this point, Ham was ranting and raving about what Congress needed to do. And he was right about it. They were printing all of this money, $240 million. The dollar was completely depreciated. There was nothing. Stay Alive is actually a fairly accurate description of how bad everything was. No one was taking money. So he was really picking all these fights in the papers with this guy. So he kind of had to step back a little. It wouldn't be a good look for him to then pick another fight with another guy, even though Charles Lee totally deserved it. That's why he didn't go in the duel. It wasn't necessarily this disobeying. It wasn't.
Well, that's also, the duel is also where, as we've said, the show does take a good amount of creative license, obviously, with the story.
Of course. Burr
wasn't Lee's second. Right. When I was like, oh, snap. Okay.
Yeah.
So obviously it makes sense and we get it. I mean, we don't really care about the other guy.
Right. I feel so bad, like, reading, when I read this the first time, so I read this when I went to New York in the fall, and I was like, this will be great, like, it'll really put me in the mood. Like, I feel so bad for the forgotten, like, people who were, like, so big in Ham's life, and, like, such, like, his best friends, like, after the war is over and everything, and, like, these poor people are probably, like, in the afterlife being like, yeah, whole fucking musical, Alexander.
Yeah. Where's my song?
Right. Yeah. Well, I say that too. I think in the last episode, I said someone's name wrong, or I corrected it, and I apologized to them, and Bianca was like, why do you? I was like, I don't know. I just want to respect everyone. They're in the book. They played some kind of role, and I just, you can't have everyone and everything in the show, and sometimes it just makes sense to have Burr be someone's second.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to, like, in the same way that it wasn't Jefferson, Madison, and Burr who, like, confronted Alex about the Reynolds pamphlet, like, at all. Like, Madison did, like, really fuck it up, but it's, you guys will get there. That's, like, my favorite chapter. The Reynolds pamphlet is, like, my favorite chapter of the book. I don't know why, I just find it so fascinating.
Yeah.
There's also the mention that Charles Lee wanted to keep fighting. Like, he wasn't like, I yield. No, he wanted to keep going, and they were like, no, we're going to stop this.
No, you crazy person.
You crazy person.
Because he was super, super arrogant, and he was really annoyed that Washington didn't agree with him about if they should be fighting or retreating, and he was just like a little, like, meh. Like, he was a wimp and a jerk, but super arrogant.
Yeah, he was just a brat.
He was a total brat.
Although I will say, I envy him in the sentence where I underlined it. Where'd it go? It talks about how Charles Lee always had, like, a pack of dogs with him.
We were just talking about this.
Lee was thin, quarrelsome, eccentric bachelor, spoke 4 foreign languages, had lost 2 fingers in an Italian duel, and traveled everywhere with his pack of dogs at his heels.
We were just talking about that before we recorded.
5 minutes before we started Skyping you, we were like, don't make us like you.
Yeah,
Charles
like, come
Lee,
on.
Having a pack of dogs sounds awesome. I'd love that.
And I would love for it to be so widely accepted that, like, I just show up places with a pack of dogs and people are like, that's Hollis.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there she is. With
That
her
would be.
dogs
I
in
would.
tow.
You know what? Let's bring it back.
This is very bad.
We'll just have packs of dogs traveling.
I have 2 dogs. I'm on my way to a pack.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm also one of those people. I believe that I have dreams about all the dogs that I've had, which are now too many that have passed away. And I only dream about the dogs that I've had after they die.
Oh.
So I feel like I've like still tripped over some of them and they're not here. Like I just feel like they're near me all the time. So if I go to a psychic and they don't see dogs around me, I know that they're full of it.
Like,
I travel in a pack. I'm telling you, I do.
That's awesome. That's like
We just
some,
lost
Harry
50
Potter.
listeners.
I love that.
That's
Yeah.
real shit. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's true. I have like my little paw necklace. I'm into it.
So I have a dog bone tattooed on my ankle.
There you
Like
go.
a miniature
Oh
winnet,
my
guys.
man, I gotta step up my game. I have a Hamilton tattoo, but like,
What?
yeah. I have
Sidetrack. What is it?
It's a comma.
Oh, I saw when you
Oh,
posted
yes.
that. Yes.
Yeah, there it is. So 23 is my lucky number, and so when I hit 23,000 followers, the day I hit Angelica is my favorite character. Renee is the only cast member I have yet to meet. Like, it breaks my heart. Yeah. She follows me on Instagram, and she's, like, so sweet. She likes, like, everything I post, whether or not she's tagged in it. I'm so obsessed with her. So, she's the only one I haven't met, just because, like, it just hasn't worked out. Like, the first time I was there, she was talking to, who was there the same night? First night in October, Bob Saget was there the same night I was there. And so, she was talking to him, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to interrupt. And then the second time I saw it, I just couldn't find her. But anyways, so I hit 23,000 followers, and it was Angelica's birthday on the same day. And so I was like, I've been like thinking about getting this tattoo for a while, but I was like, all right, today's the day.
Yeah, no, I like that one.
Got it.
That's a good tattoo. Comma in the middle of a phrase.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
Thank you. And I like tried to explain it. I like went to this tattoo place in like Echo Park, which is like this like really hipstery neighborhood, but I was in like the kind of like worst part of Echo Park, and so like it was just a bunch of, I like walked in and I was like, no one here is going to know Hamilton. Like I just knew immediately. So I'm like sitting there and like the girl's like getting ready to do my tattoo. She's like, so what's this for? I was like, a musical. And she's like, oh, which one? I'm like, Hamilton. And she's like, I've never heard of it. And I was like, it's about the founding fathers. And she's like the biggest dork right
It's
now.
like when you try to explain it to other people, you're like,
one
what
other
am
tattoo,
I
and it's a
saying?
Harry Potter tattoo. And they were like, what's that tattoo for? And I was like, Harry Potter.
Wait.
I'm like,
What house are you in Harry Potter?
I'm a Gryffindor.
Okay, I'm a Ravenclaw.
Okay, what are you?
I am out of this conversation. I'm so sorry.
I think Bianca would be Hufflepuff.
What does that mean, guys?
Hufflepuff is you're super nice.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Eliza's a Hufflepuff. I've like spent considerable
Wait, how do you figure this stuff out? I'm so out of it. I don't know anything.
Well, I
I'm
was
such a loser. I'm sorry.
I was officially sorted.
I was too. We sorted at Pottermore.
I was officially sorted at Pottermore.
So I'm like officially a Gryffindor.
And I was really happy because I really wanted to be. I just identify most with Ravenclaw.
Oh, I cried. I like cried. So, do you remember how Pottermore did like the beta testing?
No.
At the very beginning. So they did like beta testing where you had to like at random hours, JK would like release a clue on like a version of a Harry Potter website that you had to like find. Like the clue I found was on like the Warner Brothers website for Harry Potter, like 4 pages in. You had to like find the clue and then figure out the clue and then go to the website where it led you, and then you were allowed to beta test Pottermore. I'm such a dork. I'm like really.
Well,
I would have totally been into something, because that's like along the lines of when I was super obsessed with Lost and like all those ARGs and everything. Like I was combing everything for Easter eggs and all that stuff. Like I just never got on the whole Harry Potter train, and now I feel like it's
well, here's the thing. No, it's not, because I only got into it this summer.
Oh,
really?
Because Ashley, again, who got me into Hamilton, she was begging me to read Harry Potter for years, and I made her a promise. I said once I am finished editing the second season of my web series, The Residuals, now available at theresiduals.tv. What I told her, I said, once I'm done editing that and I can do something for me and I don't feel guilty like I should be working, I'll do it. So, like, a week after the screening party, she just texted me and she was like, I hope you didn't forget about your Harry Potter promise. I said, no, I didn't. God. So that weekend I met up with her. She gave me all the books. I read all of them in like 2 months. Then as I read them, I read a book. Then I passed it along to Mike. And when he was done, we would watch the movie. It's not too late, Bianca.
Oh, wow.
It's not.
Because I was off and running. I was in 150%.
Okay, well, in my defense, I already have a really long book that I'm working my way through at the moment.
That's
so
true. Okay. And I need your help with it. I need you to not,
Fair enough.
But that's awesome.
It isn't too late. It's not.
So wait, what's your Harry Potter tattoo?
Yeah.
Okay, so have you seen any of the movies? I don't want to like spoil anything.
No, I'm like so out of it, guys. It's okay.
Well,
Talk away. Talk amongst yourselves.
So,
it's fine.
So my dad passed away when I was a freshman in high school. So in the 7th book, Harry's going to like fight Voldemort.
Oh my god, I know what it is. I have chills already.
And he is able to get like, they're not necessarily ghosts of his parents. They're like apparitions of his parents. And so he like asks his mom, he's like, does it hurt? And she's like, no, it's easier than either Sirius or Lily say it's easier than falling asleep. And then he turns to his dad and he goes, you'll stay with me. And his dad says until the very end. So I have where you can't really, I can't get it to show, but it's like here, it's on the inside.
No, I see it. Hollis, I have such chills. That is so beautiful that you have that. And of course that scene is, and the words are amazing. And JK, I think, is drinking whatever Lynn is drinking. Those two don't sleep.
It's insane.
They can't sleep. They can't be sleeping.
I literally don't, and like even Lynn, so.
I think he has a time turner. I'm convinced. He has to.
I'm going to blow up his spot a little bit right now. So like when I saw him the second time, first time I saw him, we didn't have a ton of time to talk. It was like whatever. Second time, the stage had kind of like cleared and it was kind of empty, and he came like running up and he gave me a huge hug. And he's like, "Did you hear me say squad?" I was like, "Yes, I knew it was me." And he's like, "Yeah." So we were like talking, and he's like, "Wait, how did you get the front row?" And I go, "We won the lottery." And he was like, "I thought you weren't here yet." And I was like, "No, I got in last night." He's like, "Well, yeah." He's like, "Oh, I remember you being on the." He's like, "Yeah, I saw that you were on the plane, and like I followed your travels." And I was like tweeting about it, and I was like, "You asshole!" I was like, "You have no time. How do you follow me?" Like my like dumbass being like, "Oh, I'm watching happy endings on the plane." and so yeah, he was like, "Wait, do you have a ticket?" And or like, "Do you have a ticket for while you're here?" He's like, "I knew you were coming into town." And I was like, "No." And he's like, "You came here just on the whim. You might be able to see the show." And I was like, "Well." One of the cast members said they might be able to get me like standing room one time, so like I was kind of going to see about that, but then this just worked out, and now I have like no pressure on the rest of my trip. I can just like enjoy it and be like, I saw it. So.
That's incredible that you guys are legit friends and he cares about your travels.
I don't know how he has the time.
I don't either. I don't know how.
About that.
There are like 7 Lins.
I can't even understand how he like manages to converse with anybody on Twitter, because it's just like the rapid fire amount of responses and tweets that come to him. Like I would just be like, I'd be like, nope, I'm out. I can't handle all this.
I know, and so sometimes he does. Sometimes he'll say like some idiot ruined the fun. I'm out. Like someone will be a jerk, or it's just like
it's always someone who says something stupid, and then he's like, okay, bye.
Why do people have to be stupid?
Because it's the internet. Ugh.
Yeah.
And they can't help themselves.
And these kids, these like teenagers are vicious.
Kids today.
Some of these Hamilton teenagers, I will tell you right now, I've gotten like my fair share of like teenagers who hate me, and I'm like, why?
It's so illogical.
Because you have an awesome life and you did something creative and funny, and
they didn't.
They didn't. Whatever. But you know what? Once we get those nasty teenagers, we'll know we've made it at the Hamilcast.
That's the thing. It's like once you get the nasty teenager, you're like, oh, there it is.
There it is. That Hollis, thank you so much for this.
Oh my God,
we have to wrap up.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. We really, really appreciate this. This is so awesome. This has really been a great time.
I will come back anytime.
Next time you're in New York, hit us up.
No, oh my God. Will you do our little ham sign off with us?
Yeah, what is it? Well, how do I not know what it is? I've listened to like 4 of them.
We do our little like a.ham
for whatever your name is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so, oh my gosh, this was really great. I can't believe
so
how much time has passed.
I can't believe it. I just looked at my phone and I was like, oh wow, we have another recording that we have to get to.
I know, I'm sorry I talked so much.
No, this is great. Awesome. And now this, like, seriously, the next time you're here, Let's grab coffee or whatever.
Absolutely.
It'd be so fun.
Absolutely. I will let you guys know next time I'm in the city. It's really dope.
Yes. Well, thank you everybody for listening. We are at the Hamilcast on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can email us, thehamilcast@gmail.com. I am Gillian with a G. My show is The Residuals. That I don't go by Gillian with a G. That's just me on social media. That's I'm at. You can call me Gillian. It's okay. And
I'm _Bianca Jean_ on Twitter and Instagram.
And
follow Hamilton Squad. Obviously, you all already do.
I know. Over
Get on
23,000 followers. What is happening?
It's crazy.
Well, thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next time. I am G.Pen.
I'm B.So.
H. And. I'll say that. Andrews it is, but I'll say H. And.
Nice. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.